Hello, hello, hello. With any luck, I think we are actually back and streaming. Let's see here. Once we get some visual. There we go. Hey guys, what's going on? It's good to see Bob and Bill. What are you guys doing? We are back indeed. And it's good to be back. It's been a crazy long time. Been a crazy lot of stuff that's gone on. Shmar Cash, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing? Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back flying. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been longer than I thought, obviously. I thought that was thinking last week I'd be back at it, but UN, what's going on? Hans Boone is here as well. Thank you, Hans. Thank you so much. And Bill, sorry you can't make it. And yeah, start the college fund, exactly. But yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks, that's for sure. So why don't we do some flying while we're at it? I don't know why I'm sitting over there. Let's see here. There we go. Let's go. Augusto, Zane, what's going on? Very CPU limited. But yeah, that's the problem, right? But hopefully that changes here in a couple months with FS 2024. Let me know if the audio is good. I think it should be. So let's go rotating beacon on, mixtures and props, full forward. I still have an Islander video, real world video to see you guys. Buckman, thank you, sir. You're too kind. I appreciate that. You're too kind. And we'll go a little bit up on the throttles. Let's go fuel pumps on. This is one of the things I picked up down there, is they turn all the mags on to start the engines, and they turn the fuel valves on as well. But sound is good. Awesome, Zane, thank you. Everything is, you know, it's kind of wacky, but we're getting through. And throttles are cracked. Let's make sure there's nobody outside to kill or maim. I'm still not used to the sim yet. And we'll go right engine first, and that had no effect whatsoever. Why not? Fuel pumps are on. Oh, you know what we need? We need electricity, ladies and gentlemen. We need electricity. You need a couple things. You do need fuel. You also need electricity. Good start. Oil pressure is good. Go left engine. Good start. Oil pressure is good. I've flown this plane once since I got back. I have not flown anything else. The only flight I did, gonna lean the mixtures for taxi, gonna turn the avionics on. Yeah, so they turn all the mags on to start the engines. I don't know if that's correct or not. It would probably help if I read the manual, but I can't. I don't want to be too crazy, you know, and actually read the instructions. But yeah, that's the one thing I noticed that that they do. Let's turn the fuel pumps off. Fuel pressures are good, mixtures are leaned. Yeah, so I've been back, what, like a week and a half, and I have flown once in the sim. And that was just to do a video. And so I figured today we'll head over to, I'll go do Saba, because why not? And then we'll do maybe St. Barts and back to Grand Cass, or maybe we'll just do over to Grand Cass. Depends on how much time, like what the time looks like. UN, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Buckman, you'll be back next one, buddy. You'll be back next one. And life is slowly returning to normal. I just went and saw my dad this afternoon. he's doing a whole lot better. Still, you know, I mean, open heart surgery is wild. UN, what are you flying? You got, is that you right there? Air Canada Express? All right, toes on the brakes. Let's turn the external power supply off first. Toes on the brakes. Release the parking brake. And, I mean, UN, you've made every other landing, so I got confidence in you. Set the flaps for takeoff. Let's see, do I not have multiply? Wait a minute. Hold on. I know I have. No, you know what? Did I not? I didn't turn on multiplayer. Can I turn on multiplayer now? Please tell me I can. Oh no. I remembered to turn on the nameplates with the traffic. I did not turn on multiplayer. Darn it. All right. I think the only thing I can do is restart. That's the only thing I can do is restart it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, main menu. It was inevitable that I was going to forget something, and that was it. But anyway, I'll get started up real quick once I get back in. But yeah, but Dad's doing pretty well. Dad's doing pretty well, all things considered. I mean, he's lucky to be alive. Is really the truth of the matter. But considering they, you know, cut his chest open and stopped his heart and fixed it like a couple days ago, he's doing pretty well. So this is what I needed to do. No, that's what I needed to do right there. So there we go. And so they're starting to talk about releasing him from the hospital, which is crazy. So we got to figure that out. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because honestly, I don't know. Jay Russ, he had open heart surgery. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's my, the weird thing about it is like my dad is an active guy. Like he's known in town for always being on his bike. He's always on his bike, riding his bike. And so it's not, you know, not normal. We you know what, Schmarkash, we can. Let's go Anguilla to Princess Juliana, and then we'll go Princess Juliana to Saba. That sounds like a good idea. And whoa, hey, look at this. Well, that was easy. I guess I just turbocharged my startup. All right, let's go lights on. We'll go flap set. I just made things really quick. So yeah, let's do St. Maarten. All right, toes on the brakes. There we go. I didn't waste too much time. Parking brake is off. Mixtures and props full forward. Gotta get my seat adjusted here. All right. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. That's UN. Now I know where UN is. Airspeed's alive. Engine instruments in the green. 70 knots. And rotate. Alright. And off we go. Nice, nice, nice. Let's put in some trim here. Wow, there's a lot of people out flying today. Which I guess UN's in the 777. He's in the 777. That is awesome. Let's bring some power back. So what I was saying before my mess up there, I have one more live flight to show you guys. The flight from Anguilla over to St. Maarten when we left. And but yeah, I got some good info. I got some good inflow on flying the Islander. So good stuff. Let's get it back to 100 knots here. Yeah, so that was the worst weather I've flown in the Islander, and I was a little nervous going into the flight, to be honest. There's 1,000 feet. We're gonna go fuel pumps off, throttles back, props back a little bit, and it was pretty nasty weather. And the Islander was stable as a rock. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Did I put my flaps up? I guarantee you I didn't. I did. Cool. But yeah, they fly these legs between St. Maarten and Anguilla. They fly them at 1,000 feet. So let's see here. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Whoopsie, except for that. So yeah, it was a good trip. It was kind of wacky. J. Ross, I'm glad your open heart surgery went well. That's, man, it's intense. I didn't realize, like, when they do open heart surgery, they actually stop your heart, put you on a bypass machine, all that fun stuff. Yeah, so the one I posted already is the weather was fine that day. Is the one coming back that I haven't put up yet, where the weather was a little bit, well, more than a little bit iffy. It was pretty nasty, but it was good to do and see how the airplane flies in that weather. And the airplane is so stable. The Islander, it is so rock stable. Good stuff. This is where we stayed the second week. We were staying like literally right there, and we were watching all the airplanes land in Grand Cas, which was pretty cool. And so I got a good feel for how they do that. There goes UN. Well, I suppose landing at Juliana is no big deal in the 777, but not sure about flying a traffic pattern in the 777. That's got to be fun. But yeah, so the day we got married, at 7 in the morning because it was just me and my wife and our pastor and 2 people from the church, because you needed 2 witnesses, and the 2 witnesses had to go to work. so the wedding was at 7 in the morning. And yeah, 7 in the morning we got married. At 8 in the morning my dad was in the hospital. So that was a little crazy. And then oh, you know what, that's why it's so loud. Look at that. There we go. Let's quiet things down. And then 2 days after that the dog was sick. So, but dog's doing well, dad's doing well. Mrs. IslandSimPilot and I are doing well, so all is good. The other thing I noticed that he didn't do when he was landing the Islander, he didn't bring the props back when he started to descend. And I think that's kind of one of those habits that gets passed down from pilot to pilot down there, but that's not actually the way you're supposed to fly the airplane. Like I can't imagine that you're not supposed to bring the props back. That I don't think is good. That I don't think is good policy. Man, there is a ton of people here. There comes UN setting up for final. Let's see here. Who we got behind us? Let's see here. Alright. So start bringing the power back. Get the nose up. Get some flaps in. The C700, that's a plane that I wanted to fly, never did. And flap range, put some flaps in, put some fuel pumps on. And yeah, I didn't pick a parking spot. And let's see here. So anyway, we're just kind of easing back into everyday life. Here's the white arc. Go full flaps, mixtures and props full forward, few pumps are on. Bring some power in. And I am out of time with two of the VAs I fly for. I've got to get a flight in like pronto, or else I'm gonna get fired. So I gotta take care of that. All right, few pumps around, flaps are set. Mixtures and props full forward. Chris Loach, what's going on? Good to see you. It is good to see you. Long time. I think it's been 3 weeks since we flew. And I guess we can expect a lot of company. At least on this part of the flight. So airspeed's good. So my buddy Wayne, who comes in here, he goes to the cargo ramp, so he always tries to make Bravo. So he comes in just over the fence. And he says he comes over the fence at 70 knots. Puts it down right here. Whoopsie, not as hard as I just did. And then he just makes the cargo ramp. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Let's check the trim, a little bit more trim. Go up one notch of flaps. Deputy Dog in the E300. I love these names. So, Kashif, what's going on? No, I'm sorry. What happened was I failed to turn on all players. And so I restarted the flight to see, so that everybody could be there. Kashif, did you take off from A320? Did you take off from Anguilla yet? Because if you haven't, I can circle here a little bit so you can catch up. But yeah, I kind of goofed up on the Anguilla part on the start here. All right, we'll go power back, props back. 90 knots is good. Reloading the flight into St. Maarten, perfect. And then we're gonna go St. Maarten to Saba, which is over here. And that is a beautiful shot right there. I'm telling you, like, the sim is beautiful. I mean, I don't know if it's like, it's just been nice coming back to it. It just looks so good. Looks so good. Hans Boone. Looking good. So yeah, I've had a pretty busy pretty busy last couple weeks, let's put it that way. And let me guess, I didn't put the flaps up. No, I didn't. So we'll put the flaps up. Kashif, we are heading for Saba. We are heading for Saba. And oh, Kashif, and you're up and running again, which is great. That is awesome. Glad to hear that. Onboard Simulations, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you. We are back in our regular time slot today. Awesome, Kashif. That's great. Glad to hear that. So let's see here. And Kashif, you gave me an idea. I have an idea, but I have to think about it a little bit more before I try to set it in motion. Yeah, on board, we had a great vacation. It's been a little bit wild since we got back, but but we had an awesome vacation. And it's funny, I don't know if you guys ever been. Oh yeah, you know what, UN, and I went in there and I cleaned it up yesterday, and it's just I haven't had the time to get back in there a lot since I got back, but I need to, and I need to prioritize that. One of the other things that I decided while I was on vacation was that some of my prior habits are going to come to a screeching halt. Like, one of the things I did when I was on vacation, I didn't read any news. And like, I've been a news junkie my entire life. I've gotten less into it. And Kashif, when I get the idea planned out a little bit better, I'll let you know for sure. But you gave me a cool idea. But anyway, I have always been a news guy, you know, and I've backed off on it quite a bit in the last, you know, especially like 7-8 years. Like, I don't watch TV news anymore, which is very good, which is very healthy. But like, I always read the news, you know. And while I was on vacation, I just stopped, and I realized that number one, I don't really miss it. Number two, life is a lot more relaxed, you know, and you get to a certain point where time is more important to you than anything else, really. And I'm definitely reaching that point in life, and I just don't see I don't see the time that I spend checking the news as having much value anymore. Whereas, for example, this channel, doing this with you guys, being involved on the Discord, that sort of thing, I do find value in, you know. And so it's a matter of paring out the less important things to have time for the more important things, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's one of the kind of philosophizing things that I did while I was on vacation. And I was gonna say, like, I don't know if you guys ever been like, I mean, we were gone for like 2 weeks, and I've been on vacations where after a week I'm like, okay, I want to go home. Like, I'm like ready to go home. And I've been on vacations where you just I don't want to leave. And this trip I really appreciated for a lot of different, you know, really for one main reason, the fact that we got married, you know. But I've been looking forward to it for so long, and kind of I don't know if wrapping my identity in yeah, UN, I totally agree with that, by the way. But like, you know, and partially like wrapping my identity in the IslandSimPilot, and, you know, flying in the islands. And so I was just so much looking forward to being there and really thinking about yeah, Hans, you know, I know like I know like friends from Germany go on vacation for like 5 weeks, you know, for like in one shot. But I was really looking forward to being in the islands and just like soaking it in, and not getting distracted, and just really kind of trying to get into a groove of like what it's like to be there at all times, and just to see like, do I really like it as much as I talk about? And the answer is yes, but the answer is also that I think I'm probably like happier going 3 or 4 times a year for a shorter period of time, for like a week, rather than going for like a really long trip, or rather than moving there, you know? Like, it's weird. There's something about, I think everybody's kind of drawn to, oh, Kashif, I think everybody's kind of drawn back to where they came from, you know? And I know a lot of people, like my wife, for example, is from Venezuela, and we're definitely not in Venezuela, in central New York. So like for her, it's kind of like a fish out of water thing. And I understand that feeling. But I think as much as I love the Caribbean and as much as I enjoyed it, it also did kind of reaffirm to me that I am from New York. And as much as I love the islands, and I do love the islands, I also like being home, you know? And so as you can tell, there was a lot of thinking going on my trip, but it was nice. It was hot as hell. It was so hot. And everybody I talked to, like all the locals that I talked to, oh, Kashif, man, I'm sorry, man, that's too bad. But like all the people that I talked to that are from the islands all said it was that this year has been just so hot, like so unbelievably hot. And it was relentless. The heat was just relentless, and it's not like you're, at least for us anyway, like the air conditioning is in the bedroom, and that's pretty much it, you know? So like it's hot, and it's hot all day long, and it doesn't cool down at like, you know, it doesn't cool down when the sun goes down. And yeah, it was kind of crazy. But yeah. Yeah, I did. I absolutely did, Bob. And but it was hotter than previous years, for sure. But we enjoyed it. We had a good time. The food was ridiculous. The food on the French side of St. Maarten is ridiculous. It was so good. And French side of St. Maarten was fun. The weird thing about the French side of St. Maarten is they are kamikazes when it comes to driving down there. Like they have no regard for health and safety of anybody. It's crazy. Like Grand Cast, the village is, it's a bit more, it's a bit rougher around the edges than I expected it to be. But the thing about it was, I kind of thought there was like a front street, you know, where you could like, you know, get more like pedestrian sort of oriented. And there really isn't, and they don't have sidewalks, and the cars just come flying down. Yeah, they don't honk all the time, but they'll run you over. Like they will run you over, you know. Oh, UN, I completely believe that. And that was one of the things, like, and even driving. So like we took a rental car, and like they have no hesitation of like driving basically straight at you. You know, it's like dodgeball. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Well, they didn't have any sidewalks in St. Maarten, so that kind of, in the French side, so that kind of worked out. Go props full forward. 1,000 feet. We're doing pretty well here. Fuel pumps are on. We're gonna go first notch of flaps. So like, the French side was pretty chaotic, but the food on the French side was unbelievable. It was so good. At one point, Mrs. IslandSimPilot banned me from eating any more shellfish. Because all I ate was like lobster and prawns, and she was like, you have to stop. You have to stop. And so I had to stop eating lobster. And their lobster is different from our lobster. Mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps are set. Seat belts are secure. And their lobsters are different from our lobsters. Like, they're not like with the big claws. The Caribbean lobsters are spiny lobsters. And I think I am low. But it's just delicious. It's got a different flavor than like Atlantic lobster, like Northeast lobster. Air China coming in. I think actually I'm doing pretty well. I always feel like I'm high when I'm coming in here, and I never am. Alright. Power all the way out. It's gonna have to plant this one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Brakes, 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 brakes. Oh, brakes, 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 brakes. No, it's not gonna happen. Oops. I mean, wasn't too unsuccessful. You know, I'm still moving. I wonder if I can climb up this hill. Let's see. UN made it in the A320. I did not make it in this. Come on. I should have known that was a go around. But I'm wondering what's gonna happen now. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Schmarkash. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna restart. And I'll just load into Saba. I felt like I wasn't going too fast. I was going 80, I think, on short final, but clearly, however fast I was going was too fast. All right, TNCS. I think that might be the first time I've ever actually crashed at. And you know what? I'm gonna start right there, so that I can just get right back into flying. I think that's the first time I've ever crashed at Saba. All right, runway 12. Let's just load straight back in. Yeah, it sort of felt like it did take a long time to stop, but that was also it's also a little bit downhill, but it's kind of distracting landing on top of other planes too, but all good. So let's just load back in. So what else can I tell you? Some moment in history. So what else can I tell you on here comes the Duke. Here comes the Duke. Let's check out the Duke. Sorry, Duke. He's coming in right there. The reverse mode. Alright, those on the brakes. Let's go there. And what else do I need to do? I need to release the parking brake. I need to set some flaps. Yeah, that is how marriage is. You know, it's funny because... Alright, fuel pumps on. We sort of got thrown into all this stuff when we came back, and we haven't really had a chance to kind of settle in, but it's just life, I guess, right? Alright, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, mixtures and props full forward. Toes on the brakes, but alright, there is full power, toes off the brakes, and I'm telling you, Marriage is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about it. And for anybody who... There's 70 knots. Oh. Weird. For anybody who thinks that, like, being in a long-term, like, committed relationship is the same as being married, I can already tell you after 3 weeks, it's not. But in a good way. Close my window. In a good way. Drop the nose a little bit, put the flaps up. And we'll bring some power out. Bring the props back a little bit. Alright, flaps are up. Oh, you know what it is? I didn't adjust my weight, so I'm pretty heavy. That's what it is. That's gonna make life interesting. Yeah, you know what, UN? That is actually a thing. That is actually a thing. Where you can get into, there's fuel pumps off, fuel pressures are good. Where you can get into an airport, but you can't get out. That's actually a real thing. Yeah, wait. But I also figured out a trick with the weight and balance page. At least for the Islander, you can't delete all the passenger, like certain passenger weights won't delete. It's really kind of irritating. But you can reduce them to like 10 pounds, but you can't reduce them to 0. I don't understand why, but it's the way it is. But yeah, like in terms of, I mean, Mrs. Island Sim Pilot and I lived together for 8 years before we got married. We've known each other for 20 years. And I can tell you that being married is different. It's not the same thing. UN, take it easy, buddy. It's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. And I appreciate you coming out. And I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but I expect more of myself as a husband than I do as a quote-unquote partner or whatever you want to call it, you know? You gotta step up. And the other good thing is that I picked well. I picked very well, you know? I always say about her, her only flaw is bad taste in men, but it's kind of a bad joke, probably. All right, I'll lean the mixtures here a little bit. Coming up on 2,800, climbing 3,000. So got a couple videos out since I've been back. You got to keep your videos coming out, you know. And you know. But what I was gonna say before is I don't know if I would have handled like the stress of what my dad's going through as well a month ago as I am today, and I attribute that to being married. You know, it is definitely a change to things in a good way. What did I want to do? That's right. And I've also kind of thought a little bit about real flying versus sim flying. Like for me personally, and if I'm perfectly honest with myself, I don't know if I may enjoy sim flying more than real flying. I mean, real flying, the cool thing about real flying is there's a lot more of a sense of accomplishment for things. Like there's just a much greater feeling of satisfaction when you fly a flight and you have a good landing and everything went, you know, pretty well. It's a great feeling of satisfaction. And I mean, you get that in the sim, but not the same way. But at the same time, like, I've always kind of had in the back of my mind like this possibility of someday, you know, taking up flying for real, right? And nowadays I think, I don't know if that's something that I want to do, or that I would consider doing. I don't know. And part of me thinks that maybe my flying career will be right here, you know, with making videos and flying with you guys, you know, because if you had asked me a year ago whether I would have, you know, this amount of like engagement and interest on my YouTube channel, and whether I'd be flying and, you know, people, you know, joining and all that stuff, there's no, you know, no way, no, you know, would I get, you know, 10,000 views for a video? Nope, you know. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the sim lifestyle. I enjoy the sim experience. And maybe this is the thing that I'm going to do. Who knows, right? Other cool channel news. I think I'm going to be one of the early access people for the 737 MAX from iFly that's coming out. I think I'm going to get early access to that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so, which would be pretty cool. So we'll see about that. Let's see, where's Hans Boone? Hans Boone is always down there. But yeah, I reached out to the iFly guys, and I think I might be getting access to that plane, which would be a lot of fun. Hans Boone afraid of heights. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this story, but you know, but that's a good question. I don't know what happened to the Turbo Islander. I reached out to Black Box and I asked them if they were interested in having me do a, you know, preview or whatever, and I never heard anything from them, which is fine. I mean, but that would have been a cool plane to have access to. I think I could do some pretty darn good promoting of it, but didn't hear back from him. Maybe I'll reach out to him again. But in terms of afraid of heights, Hans, this is an actual fact. This is a real life fact. So 10% of the general population of humanity is scared of heights, and 90% of the pilot population is scared of heights. So like basically almost all pilots are scared of heights, and there's a few theories as to why that is, but it's kind of a weird, yeah, it's weird, right? But it's they've done studies on it, and one of the theories is that pilots pilots are I don't want to say control freaks, but like control people, because when you're in an airplane, your hands and feet, you know, everything is, you know, working one of the three dimensions, you know. And so that's one of the theories, is that we're like into being in control of our environment, and that's why and a lot of it's like kind of overcoming fear sort of thing. But like I can tell you, I am scared crapless of heights. I don't like heights at all. Not at all. So I need to paint the house. I'm not getting on a ladder to do that. Not a chance. I'd gladly pay somebody else to do that. Not a chance. Not happening. You know? Mrs. Island Sim Pilot still tells the story of the one time when we were gonna go hiking, and that was the word she used, hiking, and it turns out we were going mountain climbing. And I didn't know this, and I was scared to death. Oh, you know what's funny, Hans, and this may be your experience too. So I have a friend of mine, very good friend of mine, who's actually here visiting us right now, and he's a retired Navy SEAL. And so of course he did, you know, jumping out of helicopters and planes and all kinds of stuff. And I asked him one time how many tandem jumps he did before his first solo jump, like, you know, skydive, and he was like, none. So they didn't even get a chance at a tandem jump. They got 0 tandem jumps before they had to jump out of an actual airplane, which is pretty wacky if you think of that. Hans, did I know you served? I'm sure I did. What military did you serve in? I'm sure I knew this, but remind me. All right, we'll go fuel pumps on. Got 1 notch of flaps, and we're gonna go. We gotta slow down here. Royal Dutch Marines, nice, 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 nice. You know, the Dutch side of St. Maarten, they've got the Dutch Coast Guard, and they're gosh, what's there's I'm trying to think of his name now, who's got his own channel, and he follows my channel, and he's here a lot, and he's got the VR stuff, does a lot of VR stuff, and he was in the Dutch Coast Guard, if I remember correctly, and his name is also Mike. I just can't remember his channel name right now, but first jump was static line. Oh man, no thanks. No thanks. Alright, we'll go 80 knots here. That's crazy. That's crazy. You couldn't. I wouldn't jump out of an airplane for all the money in the world. Yep, Aruba and Curacao. Yep. As a matter of fact, I think that's where Mike served. It was in Aruba. Where are we here? Oh, we haven't even crossed. I'm low. I'm low. No, Cash, we're gonna go. We'll go over from St. Barts over to St. Maarten. So if you want to join us, please do. All right, fuel pumps, round flaps are set. Mixtures and props full forward. Yeah, if you want to come join us, man, come join us for the last hop. All right. Need to get. Why is it that I feel like I'm not lined up here? Alright, let's see here. Nice, Kashif. Nice, nice, nice. Because I'm not, right? Oh, I see. I'm just cockeyed here. Alright. This is the way the Twin Otters come in. The Twin Otters come in like quite at an angle. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this actually. Alright. Actually pretty happy with that. That wasn't too bad, actually. This, oh, the F-18, that's why. I need to change the impact. I like the landing rumble with the what's it called, FS realistic, because it's way too strong. I have a feeling he just took off straight up, and that's why this is, or he's right there in the water. One of the two. Looks like he's right in the water. Do another circuit. Yeah, I think though that a lot of that was due to FS realistic. It's kind of a little bit too strong. But I thought that landing wasn't too bad. Veerman07, sorry buddy, I don't mean to be taxing right into your mug here. But yeah, when I did the driver video last week, I flew into Grand Cas, and I'm looking forward to doing it again because I want to do a better job. Turn my fuel pumps off here. I want to do a better job. Let me see here. What flight stick would you recommend for DCS? I don't know. I'm not a DCS guy, but I think you're looking a lot of like a lot of fighter type aircraft, right? So I would think, like, you know, an actual stick would probably be what you'd be looking for. But I mean, for under 200 pounds, you can definitely get something good for DCS, you know, like actual Warthog. Okay, that's actually exactly right, Kashif. That's exactly right. I think that's going to be the biggest suggestion you're going to get. Let's see here. I've never tried DCS. DCS is sort of open source, no? I mean, not really open source, but like, it's kind of an old game, isn't it? Kind of an old game with like a lot of add-on content. Let's see here. This is CA25. The C25 is going to have a little bit of an issue. Manor door. Where is Schmarkash? Let me see. Are you coming in? Are you landing? Digital. Oh, digital combat simulator. Oh, so that's the one you can fly, like, or you can basically do all kinds of combat, right? I gotta check that out at some point. So this is St. Bart's, Flipper. I'll type it into it's TFFJ is the identifier. Very realistic and hardcore. Digital Combat Simulator. I know there's one dude on Digital Combat Simulator who he's got like literally like 400,000 followers. Crazy stuff. But yeah, this is St. Bart's. Yeah, Flipper, anytime, man. Glad to have you aboard. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, this is St. Bart's, and I've got the whole scenery for the entire island. So it's not just the airport; it's the whole island. It's pretty darn realistic too, I must say. Looks good. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'm not really into military jets. The only military jet I really like, there's BizJet Brett. The only military jet I really like is the A-10. I really like the A-10. Good old Warthog. I have a friend of mine who's in the Marines, and he said that there's nothing like the sound of the Warthog. He loves it. because that means help's on the way. Another landing. Alright, you talked me into it. Alright, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps coming on, flaps are set, toe brakes set, power coming in, power is set, toes off the brakes. Yeah, the A10's a cool plane. I saw one when I was a kid and I liked it. This looks like a fun plane to fly, like single, I think it's, is it single pilot? Or is there like another dude sitting behind you? It's probably two dudes. Eurofighter Typhoon, gotcha. The Typhoon's crazy. Typhoon's a pretty cool plane. I will give you that for sure. This is one of my favorite views taking off out of here. I have this picture about 5,000 times. I've taken it so many times. So let's bring the power back here, bring the props back. Yeah, the Typhoon's pretty cool plane. Why am I not... Oh, I got a lot of weight, but I'm gonna leave the flaps in. That's one good trick when you're flying patterns, instead of, like, you know, if you're just doing touch and goes, just leave a notch of flaps in, and then you don't have to worry about speeding up and slowing down. So because I've still got those flaps in, that's basically just drag, and it's helping keep my airspeed down, and I don't want my airspeed coming up because all I'm doing is traffic pattern, you know? Gosh, it is beautiful. There's 1,000 feet, and you also keep your fuel pumps on when you're doing patterns. That is just gorgeous. Gosh, that is beautiful. It still blows my mind sometimes when you sit here and look at the sim, and like what we have to play with. It's just crazy. Put some more trim in here. We come up to 1,500. And we thought about going over to St. Barts on this trip, but it would have just been kind of a little bit too much. There's 1,500. And I'll bring the power back. I'm gonna bring power back to 21. I'll bring props back to 21. And that's gonna keep me right here. Clifford, how old are you? Still learning what flaps do. Flaps do two things. Flaps give you lift and flaps give you drag. And basically, so the first notch of flaps in most airplanes, there's one notch and two notches. That first notch, we call it approach flaps, and what the approach flaps basically stabilize the airplane. And that's why I left them down, is because I want to be flying at a slower airspeed and just be kind of lazily moving about the pattern here. I don't want to be going fast because then I'd have to slow down. I'm also lazy. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. 14, man, that's awesome. Flipper, awesome. Awesome, good for you. You know what? There are so many women, so many more women in aviation nowadays than there ever have been. You know? And which is cool because, I mean, it's cool because flying is cool, but it's also cool because, you know, you can find, and we're in the white arc. I'm gonna put in the second notch of flaps. Fuel pumps are on. You can find so many mentors, you know, female pilots to, you know, to kind of help you on your way. You know, give you advice, give you, you know, their experiences and so on. There's a couple great female pilots on Instagram that I follow. There's one called Fly Girl Kelly. Check her out on Instagram. She's great. She's a CFI and a jet pilot, and she also does like scholarships for flight training for women. But she's a really cool one to follow. So, but yeah, anyway, now what I'm using the flaps for is to give me both extra lift and extra drag. And the reason I need more lift is because we're going slower, and the slower you're going, the less lift you have. And the reason I need drag is because we're descending, and when you descend, you tend to speed up. So flaps help you do both of those things. Kurt Holtzhausen, thank you, sir, for joining. That's awesome. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. But yeah, Flipper, if you want to join our Discord, I'd be happy. We've actually got a section in our Discord about flight training and real world flying type stuff. So, oh no, you're not messing too much. Not at all. Not at all. That's what we're here for, is shoot the breeze and talk flying. But if you want to join our Discord, we've even got a section for real world flight and flight training and stuff like that. I'd be happy to talk to you. Man, at 14, you've got the world at your fingertips. You can do, I mean, man, that's one thing. I mean, I'm 48. Like, I'm not too old. That wasn't too old. I think FS Realistic is making fun of me. But what I was gonna say, like, so I'm 48, so it's not like I'm old, but I'm certainly not 14. And when you are 48, you will realize that time is a very, very valuable thing. And yeah, because Flipper, there's so many great people in the Discord and on the channel that are happy to answer questions and so on. So that'd be great. And but at 14, you can do anything. You can do anything you want. So don't limit yourself. I didn't put my mixtures forward. Yeah, I mean, you can do anything you want to do. Just pretty sweet. I wouldn't want to be 14 again, just because it would take so much longer to get back to where I am. But man, just the thought of being 14 again, and like all of the opportunity, you know. I think Yamaha just bounced it in. But that's cool, Flipper. I'm glad you joined in. It's fun talking to you. And there's Mr. Bridgman coming in. And there's Cash Panda coming in. Flipper, you can see right here over the top, at the top here coming in, J.A. Bridgman. He's a flight instructor, retired flight instructor. There's another great resource to chat with. And whenever I say or do something stupid, he reminds me of how you're supposed to do it. Let's see here. Where are we? Look at this. Here we go. Here we go. He's gonna put it right down. Look at this. He's probably got the other scenery, so he's gonna be touching down higher than I am. But cool. All right, let's see here. Trim is good. Oh, awesome, Flipper. Cool stuff. And one of the other things I'll do when I see you in there, I can give you a couple book recommendations, things to read that'll start like explaining the whole flying thing to you. There's some really great free books from a lot of, well, the ones I know are from the FAA, but they're great. You can download them online for free. You can, if you use a Kindle or an iPad or whatever. Cash Panda putting it right on the 1,000-foot markers. And what am I doing? Where am I? Oh. And yeah, you can start reading about different things. And all right, so up one notch of flaps, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps are on, and let's bring it around. I'm gonna go kamikaze on Cash Panda here. I shouldn't say things like that, it's not right. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Takeoff power coming in. You know what's funny, Flippers? You know, when I was your age, I thought 40 was old. Now I think 40's young. Kashif. There's 70 knots, and off we go. An experienced human. That's a good way of putting it. That is a good way of putting it. And I can actually confirm that. I am an experienced human. I'm doing less and less dumb things the older I get, which is cool. Fewer and fewer dumb things. I guess that's an accomplishment, right? Alright, we'll come power back, flaps coming up. Hold the nose right there. This right here, you will never see in St. Barts. They will never have a cruise ship in St. Barts. Man, this is beautiful. Alright. One of the things I love, and Kurt, by the way, if you're not already, please join our Discord. Please, 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 and we'll keep in touch. And I thank you again for joining. That's awesome. They call it the golden hour in the islands. I think all my traffic just disappeared. Why does all my traffic just disappear? Hard to know. Doesn't it seem like all my traffic is gone now? Wonder why that is. Anyway, let's go 1,500 feet. Let's see. Regarding the books, that'd be great. Reading DCS manuals and learning basic aerodynamics. Cool. Yeah, let's see, flaps are up, right? Fuel pumps coming off. Fuel pressures are good. And yeah, basic aerodynamics is good stuff. Alright, let's see here. And we'll aim right for... Okay, there's some traffic again. We'll aim right for the right side, which is the west side of St. Maarten right there. There's one... Let me get this thing trimmed out here. The first one I would recommend is the Airplane Flying Handbook from the FAA. That's a good place to start. That'll give you a lot of good, like, intro information. I mean, even more than intro information. I mean, actually, if you're gonna get your private pilot's license in the US, then that's where you start. And I'm reading that book right now for the umpteenth time. I've read that book who knows how many times. I'm reading it again because it's full of good stuff. Pale Umbrage. I like that name. There's Veerman. And I think BizJet Brit. That's one of our crew. That's one of our crew right there. And Mr. Bridgman is coming. So we are now underway to TFFG. And with any luck, I'll be able to show you how to fly it properly. So where we're landing right now is where I was just on vacation 2 weeks ago. All right, fuel pumps are off, flaps are up. Let's see, what else we got? The props sound like they're out of sync. Probably because they are out of sync. And a little bit of rudder trim. And now we're happy. A little too much rudder trim. So. I never get tired of flying in this area. Like this exact, like Anguilla, St. Barts, St. Maarten. I never get sick of flying around here. I never get sick of it. Cash Panda in the Twin Otter there, you can see. That was a nice looking airplane. So, gosh. But anyway, they call this the golden hour, and then the sunsets in the islands are just absolutely stunning. They are absolutely stunning. So let's see here. A little bit high. Let's see here. A little bit high, and I'm still climbing. So this is the more popular beach side of the island right here. Everybody loves this beach. It's called Orient Bay, but it's the water's pretty rough. Yeah, Kashif, you know what? I think the weather is probably not as nice in real life as it is in the sim right now. That's my guess. I tell you, sunsets in this part of the world are absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And this is going to work out perfectly because in about 18 minutes I can go walk down and pick up Mrs. IslandSimPilot from work. Man, it's gorgeous. So that's where we started, right over here. And this is the actual airplane. This is the exact airplane that I was in when we were down the islands, was Victor Papa Alpha Alpha Charlie. Look at this. So much traffic around here. He's down in Antigua. H. Munoz. He's down in Antigua. That is, let's see here. That's Saba. That's St. Kitts. No, that's St. Eustatius. That's St. Kitts. That's Montserrat. And down here, you can't see it, is Antigua. And that's that is my geography lesson for the day. Alright. Slowly bring some power out. See, this is the beach. This is the beach that everybody loves going to. But it's just, the water is like rough. It's not that nice. I'll show right in 2 seconds. I'll show you the nicest beach in St. Maarten. And oh, it's Antigua. That's right. You're right, Kashif. Antigua. That's funny. What was it? There's another one that I used to pronounce wrong. Nevis. I used to say Nevis. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kashif. So I'll show you the nicest beach on St. Maarten in 2 seconds. Oh, you were born in Antigua. That's funny. I do call it Antigua. Huh. Kaiserkraker. So the nicest beach on St. Maarten is right here. This one. I don't even know what it's called, but it's the furthest to the west on the French side. That beach right there is absolutely stunning, and there is nobody there. There's nobody there. Han's making a perfect approach. So, yeah, it's probably pretty common for anybody who's not been there. Alright, so let's pin our runway. There's runway 1, 2. Alright, we'll go notch of flaps. And then what you do is go fuel pumps on. You head right for this spot right here, right where the beach ends in Grand Cas. Put that back. I want to bring the props back. Just aim right for that, and if you turn final from that point at about 500 feet, you are good to go. Alright, I'm gonna go mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps, I got 1 notch to go. So just gonna aim right for that. And a lot of approaches in the Caribbean are like this, where you kind of like you just aim for some random point. Bring some power out here. So you see I'm aiming right for that right there. And then you just roll it out on final. And I did it. Oh, I did it again. I overshot big time. I did the same thing in my video the other day. Oh well. Alright, 80 knots is what I want. Way overshot this. This is where I was staying on vacation, like right in here somewhere. Alright. Way overshot that. Not good. This is a pretty challenging approach actually in real life. Mainly because there's a lot of turbulence right in here. Alright. Come on, let's have a good landing here. Alright, power is out. Little crosswind. Not too bad right there. Not too bad right there. Alright. Whoa. Come on, baby. Alright, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Oh, mannered door. There we go. Now we got them. Nice. Oh, and the 414 as well. That is nice. That is nice. Let's see here. Whoopsie, I'm trying to taxi without. Alright, let's see here. Hold on. I suppose this being a virtual world, it doesn't really matter, does it? Where I park. So I'm gonna park right here. I'm gonna go engines to idle cut off. We're gonna come in here, set the parking brake, and then we're gonna watch some landings. Let's watch some landings. Here comes Kashif. Looking good, looking good. Very, very nicely done. That was very, very nicely done. Let's see here. Schmarkash looking good in the 414. That is a nice airplane. Put my flaps up. F-18. And turn avionics master off. Let's go in here. We'll turn the mags off. Turn the fuel pumps off. Turn the lights off. I think we had a pretty successful first flight back. A couple goof ups on my part, but you know, Let's see, we'll go master and battery switches off. Let's go over here. We'll set the chocks and the boarding steps. And we'll come over here. Let's open some doors. Let the folks out. All right. Here comes Mr. Bridgman. Show us all how it's done. You can't see me in the sim. Kenneth, what's going on? Mr. Bridgman right on the numbers. Looking good. Looking good. Well done. Oh, the other thing I was going to tell you guys. So this hill right here and this hill right here are really, really tall in real life. It's way, in my opinion anyway, way taller in real life. Like this right here and these are really tall. Really tall. Kenneth, it's good to see you. How are you doing? It's been a while. I'm glad you're joining us. You're right about to hit me, Schmarkash. You literally just ran into me. So I can see you. Yes, Grand Cast indeed. Grand Cast indeed. Fun airport, and it's an airport that I like even more now that I've seen it in real life. I was kind of bummed that I didn't get to fly out of there when we were there, but like I said, we just didn't want to take another day to like go somewhere else. But it's a cool airport. It's really nice. It's I'd say it looks a little bit right in here is where the parachute ops are. You can go do parachuting, but I would say in real life it looks a little bit crisper than it does in the sim. But I think this rendition is fine. But like in real life, these mountains, or not mountains, but hills, but like these right here are way taller than they are in the sim. Like way taller. Kenneth, it was awesome. It was awesome. We really enjoyed it. And I think we're definitely going to be return visitors to the Grand Cast. You know, like the food was unbelievable. The restaurants were great. The beach in Grand Cast was pretty nice. And it's just so easy to get to. You just fly into Juliana and just it's a 15 minutes in the car, 20 minutes in the car if you live that long. I don't know if you didn't hear earlier, like the driving. I don't know if you've ever been there, Kenneth, but the driving on the French side of St. Maarten, they are insane. They are absolutely insane. And you know, Kashif, I definitely want to go to Dominica. I think there's a couple I want to go to. Dominica's one of them for sure. The other two I really want to see. One of them is St. Lucia, and the other one is Nevis. I really want to see Nevis. Suction Player 80, that is a nice looking landing right there. And anybody who's flying the 152 has my respect. That's a great airplane. Cool airplane. So, Dominica's pretty crazy to drive, huh? But yeah, St. Maarten, French side of St. Maarten was nuts. They have no regard for safety whatsoever. One of the guys that we were talking to one of the restaurant owners, and he said they have a road death every 10 days on the French side of St. Maarten. Like, there's maybe like 6,000 people there. I'm surprised anybody's still alive. It's insane. But yeah, you know, Kenneth, we ran into a couple people, and we actually saw a couple people driving around on ATVs, and like you gotta be out of your mind to drive an ATV on St. Maarten. Like, I wouldn't want to get in an accident in an actual car, but like in an ATV, like you're gone. But yeah, Bob. So Hans, thank you for the flag. I appreciate it, man. Every 10 days they have a road death on St. Maarten, which is just nuts. It's nuts. And like the motorcyclists are the worst. They have no regard for anything. including themselves, mainly themselves. They don't wear, like, well, a lot of them wear helmets, but what I found really weird was that they would, like, if it was like a dude with his girlfriend in the back on a bike, the guy would have a helmet on and the girl never did. Like, why would you ride your girlfriend around in the back of a motorcycle without a helmet on? Like, that's just crazy to me. Crazy. Anyway. Yeah, the Mao Beach. But man, I wouldn't want to be on an ATV riding around there. Yeah, Kashif, absolutely. Yeah, I totally, you know, I get it. But I mean, I understand that that's like normal there, but it just, to me, it's nuts. I mean, and they're weaving in and out of traffic, like driving up the middle lane, like, ay. You know, it's not like they're being careful. But anyway, gentlemen, it was a good flight. It was good to be back. Gentleman and lady, Flipper, if you're still here, it's awesome. Thanks for joining in. Big shout out to Kurt for joining the channel. Really appreciate that. Good to see you. And the rest of you guys, man, it's great to see you guys. Kashif and Bob and Schmarkash and Kenneth, and I mean, it's awesome. Mr. Bridgman is here as well. Saw flying around. And yeah, Flipper, again, thanks for coming out and thanks for joining us. And who else we got here with us? Hans Boone, of course. I really appreciate, I know UN is gone, and but it was great to see UN again. He made it at Saba. I did not, which tells you a lot about my skill. And Onboard Simulations was here earlier, and good to see you again. And awesome, guys. I mean, I'm happy to be back. It's good to be back flying. It really is. And that's a great airplane right there. But thank you guys all for coming out and making it fun. And Flipper, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I look forward to chatting with you. And thank you again for coming out. Jim, thank you. And sorry about the computer problems, but I had some myself when we were flying around, but modified it. Oh geez, Kashif. Hope everything's working now for you. But yeah, I mean, I think probably Sunday, if not Friday. Probably not Friday, because I'm gonna have to at some point be dealing with bringing my dad home and stuff. So, but and the other thing I want to say before I go, for you guys who have, you know, reached out about my dad and everything, thank you so much. I know everybody says, oh, it means a lot, but it really does make you feel better when you get so many words of support. Really appreciate it. Really genuinely appreciate it, guys. And but yeah, so probably not Friday, because Dad's gonna come home either tomorrow or Friday, and but we will see you fly off the runway and say, but hopefully Sunday we'll be back at it. So I'll try and let you guys know in advance about Sunday. And yeah, thanks guys, I appreciate it. It's good to see everybody. And we nailed it. 7:30 or 5:30. So exactly 1.5 hours. It's kind of perfect. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your Wednesday, has a great rest of your week. And we'll talk soon, guys. Everybody take it easy. Thanks again. Yeah, definitely hoping for Sunday myself too, but Bob, that would be ideal. Just going to be a question of what's going on in my little world, you know. So cool, Kashif. Yeah, so if we fly, it'll be about 3 o'clock on Sunday. I'm hoping that's the case. That's what I'm aiming for. I was looking for about 3 o'clock on Friday or on Sunday. So but in any event, in the meantime, take care, guys, and we'll talk soon.